When I was 13 years old, I started to complain about low back pain. And my parents didn't really take me seriously because I'm a kid and they thought I was just trying to avoid doing work in the house. And I started to complain more and more about my lower back pain. I remember actually one day really clearly we had friends over for dinner and I was telling my mom that my back was hurting and I remember her friend just saying like, "Oh, you're just trying to get out of doing the dishes." That pain, ended up just staying as is for a little while, and I just kind of sat with that pain. And then one day when I was in high school, so I remember the bell had just rung, and I bent down to pick up some books, and on the way up, I just felt a sharp pain on my left side of my lower back, and it was like in that moment I knew my life was different. I'm given a whole bunch of drugs to help calm me down because I'm in a really, really painful state. And then over the next few weeks, I go and see my family doctor, and we basically find out that maybe I have something called fibromyalgia. After a few more blood tests, I'm given a kind of a poor prognosis. I'm told that by age 40 I may be in a wheelchair. And this was just the situation. I was not really sure what was going on. We were just kind of told, you may have fibromyalgia, you may have rheumatoid arthritis. Here are some drugs. Here are some drugs to help with the pain, and go and get some physiotherapy. And so that was basically the situation for about 7 years. I started to feel a little more embarrassed about what was happening with my health. During high school, it was kind of a new thing. I had, friends carrying my backpack around and, just giving me lots of love for being in the state because I was still a very active person. But in university, my health started to really get in the way of my life. I remember going to the bar, and my friends would actually give me piggyback rides home because I wouldn't be able to walk. And during exam time, I would just be in so much pain that, it wasn't fun anymore. I was crying. My friends felt sad because I couldn't party with them anymore. I couldn't study with them. And so that's when I started to get some ideas around, well, maybe there is something else out there for me, but I didn't really know what there was for me at that time. I get to my PhD, and during my PhD, during about a year and a half into my PhD, that's when I had a massive shift. I had to get surgery on my internal sphincter, my bum. Basically, I had such chronic constipation that I had to get surgery. So, it's totally embarrassing. I'm like stepping into my power as a scientist, a leader in the field of nutritional health, liver toxicity, and I don't know how to take care of myself. I also had such powerful digestive problems that I wasn't able to keep food in anymore. So, I'm at a party and all of a sudden I'm holding my stomach, have to go home and sleep it off. Again, no fun. And I had a back spasm. This time the back spasm was so bad that I had to miss going to the lab for 2 weeks. So now my supervisor wasn't very happy with me. So that was the moment, that was my big sort of aha moment in life where I realized something's got to change. It's time for me to, just forge my own path, be my own doctor, and just figure out what else there is for me. Health was my number one priority. So first I got to this baseline level. I felt pretty good. But then I discovered this whole other level that I like to call optimal living. This feeling of, high energy and drive and ambition every single day from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to bed. And, I would have never imagined in my wildest dreams feeling this way. From the way I was 10 years prior, I would have never even been able to taste this feeling of optimal health. So I was totally inspired that this actually exists. This incredible feeling of 360 health actually exists. And then something happened that completely rocked my world. My dad was diagnosed with cancer, preventable cancer, and he actually died within 3 weeks of starting his chemotherapy. So when that happened, I felt so sad because, here I am about to become a leader in this field, but I still didn't feel like I had, the knowledge at that time to really, step into the doctor role and go and help him. So, I stood by his side as his daughter, and I held his hand as he went through that experience. And that experience, going through that traumatic experience with my family and my father's friends and our community really made me feel like I want to contribute to this world. I really want to be able to offer more to this world so that people don't have to go through what we went through. Healing myself from chronic disease and then losing my father has brought me to this place where my entire life's work is dedicated to helping people learn how to optimize their body and their mind. I'm Dr. Ria Mehta, and I help people align their health with their mission.